Well, right on schedule. Thunderstorms rolling into northwest Arkansas. Actually, quite a bit of lightning, too. We've got a Decatur WeatherBug Network camera time lapse that we've been having. Well, this is going to be recorded in real time. So the lightning flashes are going to be a lot smoother. You're going to see some bolts. You're going to see the shelf cloud that rolled in. It's pretty cool. And some anvil crawlers, as
Oh, yeah,
Matthew just
those.
mentioned. Yeah, we've definitely seen those. Highly electrified storms. The good news is that what we're seeing is no severe weather at the moment. We had some severe weather earlier in northeast Oklahoma. We had the severe thunderstorm warning in Delaware County, but not necessarily right now. So some rain without the severe weather, Peyton. It's a wonderful, uh, good to be too good to be true story here.
Yeah, you can definitely see that alpha starting to take over, and just some gusty winds and great lightning show.
Yeah. So here's the deal. This green line on the screen is the outflow boundary, and I think some additional storms are going to pop up along that outflow boundary. As of right now, though, the activity is mainly focused in Benton County. So there is a lot of uncertainty the farther south you go. If
Yes.
there's going to be
Whoa,
even
that was
any
a really good
storms,
anvil crawler.
we still were recording too.
Sweet.
Taylor, no chances of tornadoes. That's why we wanted to hop on here. We want to kind of let you know what to expect. Little noisy, some power outages that will happen, but the tornado threat is 0.0001%.
Yeah, you can never say zero.
Didn't go 0.000, but 0.001%. I wish you earned me. I put the bucket away a month ago. Well, you need to get the bucket back out because I think you're going to get a nice little downpour in Benton County. A bucket weather index. I think it's like a 7. And there's some heavy rain with these storms moving
Yeah, definitely.
into
If you're in
in
line
Benton
for them,
County.
yeah, definitely Bella Vista getting a heavy downpour.
Yeah. And we looked at the precipitable waters. They're like 1.9, which is up there. That's
Whew, that's a lot
that
of
is some
water to
stuff.
wring out of the sponge.
Yeah. So here's a look at the storms in Delaware County. You can see that storm activity dropping southeast. Now, if you look at it and you're like, oh, there's a hook. Now, because here's the outflow boundary. So it's so outflow dominant. It's not even funny. If we look at there's the outflow right there on the leading edge. And you look at that and you can see this is all basically straight line winds. There's just absolutely very little, if any, tornado potential. Just is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So some rain, some thunderstorm activity, a little bit of a noisy night, but other than that, not really a whole lot else happening. The power is out though in spots, and this is because of lightning along with some gusty winds, and that's causing some issues. So, so no Burning Man level rainfall. You know,
No,
I heard
definitely
about
not.
that story on the news tonight, but I didn't even know about it. Do you know about Burning Man?
Yeah,
You ever heard about it?
yeah. It's
Whoa!
whoa.
Golly, I should have had that
Oh
up.
man, yeah.
Man,
Let's
keep that
let's keep
on.
this here for just
That
a
was a
second.
really good amble
But yeah,
call.
Burning Man. It's in the what is it? Like Black Rock Desert or something in Nevada, and there was like extreme heavy rainfall for like 2 days, and because you're on like the salt flats, the ground can't hold a lot of water.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mud, and it was very life threatening because a lot of people were trapped, couldn't go anywhere, especially those without food.
Boy, I'll tell you what, those individuals at Burning Man are a little out there.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, they're out there.
They're a little out there, literally out there, multiple ways. So, anyways, hey, there's music festival, but sometimes weather can be dangerous. So, sharing and caring golf at 7:30 in the morning, good by then. No problems by the late morning, so you don't have anything to worry about there.
Even
So
early
that's
morning
good.
should be good.
Northern P Ridge is without power. There's another one of those amble crawlers. We have that still
You
recording
gotta
in
switch
Bella
to
Vista.
Decatur City Hall.
Okay, is there good ones there?
Yes, that's where the super good anvil
All
crawlers
right.
were.
And Cooper Elementary. We got them both recorded, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're still recording on these. That's why I didn't want to let go of it yet. Not going to stop the recording. I'm doing good, by the way. Thundering and lightning starting in Seligman. Oh, there we go. That was a good little flash. Sadly, I'm in Fayetteville and we got nothing. So he's in Fayetteville. Well, here's the deal, though. We do have that outflow boundary that's continuing to drop south. There it is right there. And that could spark off additional storm development. Now, why do we say that? Well, that's what the models are indicating. And, it does make sense, I would say. Don't you? Don't you think it makes sense?
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
it really does.
outflow boundaries can cause additional storms to fire up, especially as hot and as humid as we've been. Another just amazing anvil crawler on our Decatur City Hall Weather
Yeah.
Bug Network camera. But yeah, these outflow boundaries, they have been known to cause storms, especially overnight when you don't think about it and you go to sleep and then wake up and there's storms.
Speaking of sleeping, good sleeping weather,
Oh,
says
definitely.
Billy.
I can't wait to go to sleep.
So
during this
here's the
weather.
deal. It is awesome if you don't have a kid that's afraid of lightning and thunder.
True. Or a dog.
Or a dog or a pet. I don't know. My dog doesn't really freak out. Your cat doesn't freak out.
No,
with
he
lightning,
loves it.
huh?
He loves to watch it.
Yeah. And Pink, she just wants to be fed. That's all. She doesn't care about anything else but just being fed. Power flickered in Bentonville. So these lightning strikes are definitely pretty intense. There's no doubt about that. Now, we're going to take a look at that. But first of all, let's show you the timing of these storms. So see how that additional development takes place? Yeah, we're going to do that. Bring it up on weather 2 so I can show it because I can't bring up weather 3. I've got the door open for my baby raccoons. They're going nuts. First storm.
Baby raccoons.
Baby
That's
raccoons.
so cool.
That is cool. Are they housebroken? Or are they like strays that you just kind of take care of? That's interesting. Rainfall started at Osage Park in Bentonville. Yep. Makes
About to
sense.
get a lot more too.
Fulbright Junior High. Now, wait a minute. I saved that. Oh, I have not saved that.
Yeah, it seems like everyone in Benton County that has Carroll Electric, like that's the main person with the outage.
In Benton County, Carroll Electric. So let me know if we've got some Carroll Electric customers.
1,700 people without power.
See how there's just additional storms that pop up, but then again, we just don't have any of that in Washington County, or we don't have any of that in the River Valley. The River Valley doesn't get as much storm activity. Maybe the bucket index, I'm going to give it a 6, Brian. I think additional storms will pop up. And here's why. It's so warm and humid right now. You got temperatures that are in the 80s. You have dew points that are in the lower to middle 70s. So that's enough fuel for thunderstorms.
Yeah, show those southerly winds too. Just
wow.
Low-level jet starting to kick up.
Brooke, that is cool. Litter trained 4 orphans. I'll release them in the spring.
That's so cool.
That is cool. Now, did they get their rabies shots too? I'm curious about that.
Remember that story about the disease with raccoons last week?
Yeah.
But I hope they have that shot.
Yeah. Our trees are leaning, even the big ones, scary. So this is some strong gusty winds, even though they're not quite severe. We have that outflow boundary that's coming through, and that's why we're on here. We just wanted to let you know about it. By the way, thanks for all the congratulatory comments about the contract. I'm pumped to be here another 3 years. I got a great weather team with Peyton, Zach, and Josh, and we're ready to rock and roll. So Donita, Rudy is not seeing much right now. If we go back to this, I don't know if Rudy gets any storms, to be honest with you. I'm thinking the farther south, and
be a close call.
River Valley is just going to be very, very close. So right now, everything's very quiet. However, you can still see that outflow boundary that's working its way south through Pegs. That green line is like acting like a mini cold front, and additional storms could pop up, but it's going to take some energy, I think.
I mean, Fort Smith got up to 101 degrees today.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, the atmosphere is primed. I would say there's plenty of heat and humidity. That outflow boundary could definitely spark up some storms.
No doubt it could. All right, so I want to go back to looking at the radar. Let's put a track on this, let people know where this is headed. So we'll go to INX. I'm going to bring this up on the radar. Air is so thick. Yeah, it is thick. I know. Could use the rain for sure.
Yeah,
Let me show you that Decatur camera again.
rain is a good thing.
Little Luke Bryan song.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Donna. I think Deer and Jasper does get rain. Look at those flashes, just insane. The lightning is going to be awesome.
oh yeah,
For
can't wait to
sure.
go through all the footage tomorrow. And
Yeah.
clip it and stuff.
So there is that cluster of storms that's approaching Decatur, and that's all the lightning that we're seeing on that. So, but here's the deal: this is also producing some gusty winds because there's the outflow boundary that's out ahead of it, moving through Bentonville. Little weaker, but that's all rain, and that's all decent rain. If we look at the lightning, you're going to see lightning within that lighter rain, that lighter precipitation. Those are those positive CGs. In fact, let's go back to our weather graphics. I bet you we can look at some of the lightning here. I just heard thunder in Farmington. Yeah, that makes sense because you're going to get those anvil crawlers shooting over your heads. That's why you're going to hear thunder. Let's look at the lightning here, negative and positive. Yeah, see a lot of positive. There they are. Those are those positive strikes. And so what's happening, as you can see, even though that looks like very light rain, that's where you get those big, huge bolts.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is they're happening at the very tops of the thunderstorms. So they shoot out, but then all of a sudden they shoot out and then they come down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when anvil crawlers freak me out. Because if I'm outside and there's an anvil crawler that comes overhead, I know at any point it can come straight down to the ground.
Positively strike you.
Well, I see what you did there. I see what you did. So let's look at this. Maximum amperage, that's only 12. That's a 16. So those are pretty weak. I mean, they're still strong, you know, considering it only takes about 1 amp at the very most to kill you. We're almost starting to like 0.05 amps to kill you. I mean, it's like a tremendous. That, by the way, that number that you saw on the screen, that's in thousands. So this is kiloamps. 20 kiloamps is 20,000 amps.
Oh,
when it only takes about 1 to kill it. In terms of a positive lightning strike, it is weak.
Yeah.
But in terms of being deadly to you, not weak.
Yeah, it'll positively kill you.
Here's a look at that. Oh, no, that is a big one. Oh, that is that thunder rumbler right there. Hey, check this out. Loudest thunder you've ever experienced in Centerton. I can tell you the exact time that you experienced that. 10:41.
I believe it too.
Wow.
That's a house shaker right there.
So that is it right there. Let me see if there's any other stronger. Whoa. Nope. 106 was the most. So we know what that was. Let's zoom in on that. There it is. Centerton. And yeah, I bet that was a loud one. So how does that work? Why does more amperage create a louder bolt? Well, because it's got a stronger current, and a stronger current essentially lasts longer. It's got more power, and that's why.
Cuts through the air faster
Same
and
here.
sharper.
10:41, loud and close. So that's it. Live in Centerton and rock my house.
Felt like an earthquake. There was actually an earthquake today. Here. A 1.6, I think.
Was that posted on social media?
I don't know.
That better not.
I just do weather. I'm not a geologist.
Come on now. A 1.6.
That's what they say.
That's a 1.6. Just stomp on the ground as loud as you can. That's a 1.6. No, look at this. That's it. So
that'll wake you up.
Yeah. There's the bolt right there. I'm going to take off the radar. I'm going to see where that's around. Doesn't look very popular. It looks like at the top of the hill. I wonder if it struck a, let's see, Townview Road, Christian Lane. That's kind of like the bolts. Yeah, can you bring that up on that satellite?
Yeah. Turn the radar off here.
Radar right there. Nope, one next to it. There you go. We're going to bring that up on this. So let me show you where it's at. Just southwest of Artis Ann. There it is, right in there.
Yeah. There's a couple streets.
There's a couple homes. Townview Road. Let's see.
Yeah.
Put a mega Doppler. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So there, whoever was in that area, was anybody by Gower Court? And these don't even show up on here.
No.
Let's
Brand new houses.
Yep, that's a new subdivision. That it doesn't show up. But there is a house there. So there you go. Wind's crazy. So that's that outflow boundary that's coming through. Hearing some rumbles and some impressive lightning bolts. Yeah. Now you can't show lightning. Well, you can show lightning on there.
Yeah.
If we go back, let's see where the ENTLN showed. So put that into motion. 1041. Want to go back? There it is, right there.
Yeah.
So go back.
That was definitely it.
That's it. Very light precipitation. That's why some people are like, it's not raining hard. I'm going to go outside. And then, boom, there it is.
Shazam.
Wow. That's it. That's the one. So, yeah. Christian Lane. Now, is anybody there? That was my parents' neighborhood. All right, Jeffrey. Yes, the Thunder in Centerton. Thunderton. We'll call it Thunderton now. Made my house rumble. About jumped out of bed at 10:41. That's pretty close to my house, says Shannon. Whoa, sounded so loud. See, even though it's not severe, it's still good to do Facebook Lives because this just tells you the interaction that we get. Hey, Dan. It's delayed, it seems like. Next week, when we get cooler temperatures, will it stay cool? That's debatable. Peyton?
We're going to be hovering around that 90-degree mark just ever so slightly.
Peyton
but I
thinks it's done.
I think we're done. I sure hope so.
You heard it here. Are these storms capable of producing? Yeah, straight line winds, Josh. No doubt. That's all it is. Are we going to get anything? So, yeah, we're focused on that lightning bolt. Let's go back to real time. Still could be some anvil crawlers. In fact, there's another one that happened. Let's bring up some weather bug cameras here.
See if there's any update on the power outages.
I'm gonna do this one, the Bentonville Square. No, I'm gonna do Fulbright.
Couple of SWEPCO folks without power in Benton County.
So here's Fulbright. Let's see if we can get any anvil crawlers. Were we recording that? I don't think we were recording Fulbright. No. So we didn't. We missed that.
We were recording two of them though.
We missed that bolt. Wow, there's some anvil crawlers. We just had it.
Oh, we stopped recording. That's right.
We did?
We stopped recording on everything.
No.
Yeah, Decatur and Fulbright stopped recording.
Decatur's still going.
Decatur's still going.
Fulbright I never had recording. Darn it. Bella Vista, I would have had it. I would have been able to see it.
I mean, it is recording.
Yep. We're still going on that. For me, Cole, I don't know. The verdict's still out on Jordan Love. I hope he surprises me. I'm not expecting a lot this season.
They said the same thing about Brett Favre.
Well, that's true.
They got him from the Falcons.
But Brett Favre he's pretty steady. Rumbling in the Ridge. Deadly Hippie says, they turned on my yard irrigation just after your last update before the 9 p.m. news. Now, where are you at? If you're in the River Valley, you have irrigation, and that's fine. The potential for severe, I mean, we're talking about like meeting severe thunderstorm warning criteria. I don't think it's great, but there could be maybe a storm or two that pops up to severe. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I moved again, but I'm still following you guys. You move all over the place, Deanna. Texarkana. You dislike the heat, so you move farther south? Yeah, that's an issue. All right, let's go back to our mega Doppler source, and we want to kind of give you the very latest. So, look at that. Additional storms popping up behind the outflow boundary, which makes sense. That's what the models have been showing.
Yeah.
And that means that's going to be a little farther south. So, we might even be getting some rain in Fayetteville. Maybe Peyton, you should go outside on the parking deck.
Yeah, that
Go
is
take a
not
look.
happening.
Now,
Never again.
why wouldn't that be happening?
Well, because I almost got struck last time I went up there.
That was pretty crazy.
Thinking,
actually.
there's lightning and storms off in the distance. Great time to go outside, get some footage of that. And next thing you know, 200 feet away is a lightning strike. It almost took out half of our meteorology team.
Oh gosh, it really did. It was pretty close. What was crazy is Josh and I were inside, and we go, "Whoa, that one was close. That was an awesome lightning strike from Fulbright." Gosh darn it! Every time I go away
Every
from
time
it,
you switch back.
you know what? I'm going to prevent that right now. You know how?
No.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Mega Doppler. This is going to be on Weather 1.
Oh, and then you're going to pull up a cam?
Uh-huh.
Draw the camera on there.
I'm going to draw the camera on there.
Smart.
And then Fulbright. Which one? Fulbright? Bella Vista? Yeah, let's do Fulbright.
Yeah, Fulbright.
I don't know. Yeah. For some reason you can't move it. So, anyways, there's the camera. Now we're able to see it. Now we're able to move around. So there's a look at the storm activity. There's the rain. I think this is starting to pop up again. So if you're just tuning in, the tornado potential is basically non-existent for Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley for that matter. There's three things that are not allowing that. Number one, you don't have the energy. You have very little upper level support. You don't have the low level wind shear, which makes the storms outflow dominant. And when they're outflow dominant, you can't get inflow into the storms. So that's why. Whoa!
Hey,
that's why you don't remove the camera. Oh, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it. I've added it to the calendar. Yeah, Exeter getting crazy winds and thunder, and that's because right here, Exeter getting a nice little downpour right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some good stuff right there. Now that's not severe though, and you're getting the lightning to the south. Let me stop that loop just so you can see. Yeah, additional storms. This will eventually produce some pretty heavy rain, and there could be some localized flash flooding.
Yeah.
This is definitely some rain we so desperately need. So next week, I think some upper 70s is not out of the question, especially the middle of the week next week after we get some cloud cover and rain and storm activity. And so
can't wait till next week.
Gateway is getting some rain. Gateway's getting a nice little downpour. Yeah, I still think some more development's taking place tonight. So I think we're going to be good. Bright in Bella Vista. Yeah, we still have that recording. Yeah. I can't stop this. This lightning show is just too good.
And I think any of this new development still won't be severe. As you mentioned previously, there just isn't that same support.
Yeah.
Like it's all just going to be along this outflow boundary, which is just going to be straight up and then straight down. Just little pop-up showers, storms.
Some gusty winds.
Yeah,
that's
gusty
damaging wind potential is definitely possible. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Anywhere from 55, 60 miles an hour. Gusts maybe as high as 70, 75.
Oh, we saw that, Michael. We actually saw the video and pictures on Messenger moving into Bentonville. We saw that. That was pretty cool. Noel is getting hammered right now, says Kristen. I can believe that. So I'll tell you what we'll do here. We're going to do another look at everything, and then we'll probably start shutting it down. So lightning strike in my front yard sounded like an explosion.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we can look for a lightning bolt. So Tammy, just give me the vicinity of where you're at. Yes, Thomas, absolutely. We're going to do that. No, we're not going to have a NATO. Promise. There's not going to be a tornado. Aha! Vance in southeast Fayetteville felt his first raindrop.
All right.
So that's he's getting some rain in the Stonebridge Meadows subdivision. Oh, in Gateway. Okay. Well, there's a lot of lightning in Gateway. Let's see what we had. Okay, we'll have to get off the lightning here for a second. And let's check this out. So we're going to go to lightning research. Let's zoom. Oh gosh, it's gonna be
so much.
Kind of hard to pick out which one, but we can find out. Well, let's do this. Let's take the lightning and let's just go the last 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Duration. Last 5 minutes of data. And most recent. Golly. Bet you that was a big one on the backside.
Whoa.
Let's do 3 minutes. When there's that much lightning, it's kind of hard to pinpoint and track down.
Yeah.
But let's see this one. 15, 13. Might be this one right here. 10. Yeah, those are all about the same. Minus 10, minus 17, minus 20, minus 10. Here's what I want to do. I want to go back a little ways. There's one right there. Let's see if there's anything stronger. 15. Mid.
Hey, but any strike in your front yard, it's going to be pretty loud. I can attest to that. I've been
absolutely
too close too many times recently with lightning. I don't know why, but
wow, look at how much lightning there is. So I want to see what the strongest strike of all of them have been.
It's got to be that 106.
So maximum amperage 33, but that doesn't include.
Oh, because it's all the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, now I got to change it. Got to do last 30 minutes. This is going to be a lot. I bet 106 might be the highest.
Yeah, that one. Whew. I feel bad for anyone that was living there.
There it is. Wow. Out of all those strikes, in Centerton was the big winner. Gust to 70, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think 50 to 60 is what we're looking at. Probably just under.
We're still enough
lightning show for sure. And that's exactly why we got a lightning tie on. So we put that on basically at the start of the day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Had an expectation that those storms would be popping up. That's pretty cool, though. Out of all the lightning strikes, out of almost 2,000 lightning strikes, that was the strongest one.
Yeah.
And we picked it out. All right, let's go back to Mega Doppler, do a quick radar tour, and then we'll show you the forecast. So first of all, Southwest Missouri, Emerald Beach, Exeter, Cassville, you're getting some nice rain right now. Washburn, Seligman, Emerald Beach, those areas definitely picking up a downpour. Gateway, Garfield, you already had the downpour. That's moving out. Lowell and Rogers continuing to see rain and storms, and there's more on the way. As you can see, this giant complex moving in from the west. That's why when we look at Decatur's WeatherBug Network camera, there's still quite a bit of lightning off in the distance. So it's a good little lightning show that's happening. No. Power out, trees cracking, not great. Yeah, it stinks to lose the power. That's definitely not good. I know how that is. And everything that you had on, if it comes back while you're sleeping, it turns on right in the middle of the night. I got a story for you on that. That's pretty entertaining. But here's a look at, again, the additional storm development popping up. How far south remains to be seen. I don't think that's rain. I think that's all ground clutter. We can find out, though, if we look at the CC, and no, that's not rain. See how you can tell? Yeah. When you look at the correlation coefficient, all this is It's just a density change in the atmosphere that's creating what's called anomalous propagation or ground clutter. Man, that was a good CG. Back to Bella Vista here. What?
And as the relative humidity gets higher, there's more attenuation in the beam.
Yep.
And show more of the ground.
All that stuff. Okay, so back to Mega Doppler. I thought Bella Vista would have a good camera, but it's not working. So, anyways, there's a look at it's working. It's just not working on that side. So there's the additional storms, and that outflow boundary continues to push south. So I think additional storms are going to pop up. All right, now let's look at the 7-day forecast, just for those people that are interested. And here's a look at what we've got. So I think lower 90s, the storm chance is pretty high. We went 60% shortly after midnight, but in the early morning hours, it starts dropping off pretty quick. There's a look at lower 90s on Thursday and then upper 80s on Friday with storm chances. Now, we do have that rain and storm chance Friday morning as well. So I think that's definitely going to bring us another chance of some much needed rain. And honestly, next week, personally, I'm thinking, and I know the confidence is low at this point with Peyton and I making the forecast, but I think looking at Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday, I think those rain chances are going to be bumped up.
Yeah, Tuesday, that's going to be something to watch. I think Friday, though, because we're going to be in such extreme northerly flow that there's going to be a lot of training of storms over areas, and that's the day where we can see some potential flash flooding.
Yeah, especially when
100%.
storms pop up. So there's a look at northwest Arkansas showing active northwest flow. And then there's the goodbye to the 90s, potentially. Is that going to be the last of it?
I hope so.
And there's a reason for that, and that's because the temperatures will be dropping. So here's a look at the River Valley forecast. And again, those storm chances next week, they're looking pretty promising. And here's why. If we look at the jet stream, you're going to see quite a dip in the jet stream. So currently we have this energy swinging through. That's what's firing off the additional storms. The heat and humidity, obviously, bringing a lot of storm activity. Anthony, I like that. I'm gonna bring up that comment. But there's Saturday, a little bit of southern northwest flow. Then look at that change in the weather pattern. So now we got the dip in the jet stream, and that trough of low pressure begins to break down the ridge. The ridge is down here now, so it's not even a factor. And then this brings all this cooler air from Canada, spills it in. That's actually quite a bit of jet stream energy and a long wave trough that comes through. Watch that swing through. Almost turns negative tilt, huh?
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it did for like a split second.
Right there.
Frame. Yeah.
Right there, it turns negative tilt and then lifts to the northeast. So if anything, that'll bring some pretty substantial severe weather in the Pennsylvania area.
Yeah.
Northeast, United States, New York, those areas. Then it moves out. But at this point, next week, that is some cooler weather, man. And also a lack of storms just because the energy's north, and that's really going to drop off everything. If we look at the 6 to 10 day and 8 to 14 day outlook. Oh, Ronnie has a good question, and I'll explain that here in just a bit. Possibly colder than normal. Notice how we changed our wording instead of colder than normal and warmer than normal. And what was it? What we had? Much colder than normal, much warmer than normal. It actually didn't describe this graphic. This is a probability. So it's showing the probability of being above normal and below normal. It doesn't really tell you anything about temperature.
Yeah.
But it kind of does
because
because
it's based around climatology, so it's like possibly cooler than the normal average temperature right now. What does that say? 85?
Yeah.
So possibly cooler than 85, much likely or more likely going to be cooler, warmer than 85.
Yeah.
So it's a better way to describe this graphic.
That's why we say possibly colder, and then if it's likely, then obviously those colors will be a lot darker blue. Now the thing is too is if it is likely below normal, then probably the temperature is going to be colder. But it just technically really doesn't mention that. So there's a 6 to 10 day outlook for temperature. Here's the precipitation. So because of cloud cover and rain, keeping things cooler. that does show some rain potential. There's the 8 to 14 day outlook where we get clipped with possibly colder than normal, and then we have possibly wetter than normal. So that's a little more iffy. 8 to 14 days.
Yeah, those are definitely tricky, especially the precipitation part, because I mean
That's a ways.
that's
That's a ways out.
far ways out.
Yeah. So here's a look at. By the way, next week or this week. So this is the European model. You're going to see nothing tomorrow afternoon. Everything's good there. Tomorrow morning will be fine. Here's that little pop-up activity early Thursday morning.
That's probably because they have the front kind of stalling out, which
Yeah.
we kind of notice would happen. Like, it might not move as fast once it gets just south of the river valley, so it might stall a little bit. And
That
we get
makes
that
sense.
Gulf flow, we could get some stuff firing up along that boundary.
And then there is a look at the rain that comes in right here. This is Friday morning into the afternoon.
Oh, man.
So that's that energy. That's why we have the rain chances on Friday. Now, what about for the Razorback game? Everything looks pretty good. There could be a stray shower popping up, but we just don't really have the confidence to go any higher. Sunday, cloud cover rolling in, and sometimes northwest flow. The models struggle at that. And then we'll go through Monday night. So here's Monday. See all the rain to the west? That's that weather pattern. Then here's Tuesday. That's where the energy swings in.
It's like a cold front to me.
And it's a cold front for sure.
I'm pumped.
Yeah. And then look at this. Wednesday, all the energy is to the south. And then there's the temperature drop. So Thursday, Friday, Brandy says going camping 13th through the 18th. Bring on the
Is there a
cooler
home
weather.
game on the 15th or 16th?
There is. I
Where's
think
that?
it's BYU.
Check that. Yeah, I think so.
September 16th.
BYU game is going to be like we're in Salt Lake City
Brigham
or wherever it is.
Young University.
I don't know if it's in Salt Lake.
I think it is in Salt Lake. I'm not
I
sure
know,
about
I know
that.
Utah is.
Let's see here. GYU? No, BYU College. It's tough.
Like some smaller team.
Provo, Utah.
Okay.
There it is. Speaking of sports, how about this comment right here?
Oh. Yeah, the Astros, woo, they put a beat down, not only today, but also yesterday. This is a lot of fun to watch, especially as we're getting close. Season's kind of winding down, but it's really just heating up in terms of the AL West. It's pretty much a three-way tie for first, it seems like. But Astros starting to separate themselves, and I couldn't be more excited.
Jason says, "Hey Dan, first time chat. Cool.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome to our Facebook Live." So we did have some questions that we want to answer. And so let me go ahead and get that. Kevin Scranton, what's going on, man? He says, "Ooh, I love the 80s." Yeah. Hi, Pat. I really hope this gets fixed this week. We're getting really close to the start of the NFL football season.
Yeah.
And I really hope that
2 days
gets fixed. So this is what Ronnie asked right here. What does negative tilt mean? So negative tilt is basically it describes the trough orientation, basically how if it's going to be translating its energy faster or if it translates its energy slower. Now, I'll show you what I mean by this. And it's kind of tough to describe, but it's easier to illustrate. So maybe you have a better description on that negative
I'm trying to
tilt.
think of an analogy.
Here's my analogy that I'm going to show you. So we're going to divide this trough in half, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to pause it right there. Okay. And I'm going to draw this trough in half. So I'm going to basically split it where you have symmetric sides.
Oh, I didn't think you could do that. Yeah, I would have said to do that.
And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, take off the arrowhead, and I am going to draw right here. So see how I split that trough kind of in half, where you have the left side. You can see how that has a similar shape to this. And then there's a look at the energy. So what it's telling you is that the energy is building up, but it hasn't quite released yet. So if you have a person that's walking from left to right, is it easier to walk uphill or downhill?
I'd say downhill.
Definitely downhill. So if you're walking here and then you have this, you're trying to walk uphill, you're going to be using a lot of energy. Well, watch what happens later on in the time frame. Now, at this point, we are going to split the trough in half again. And now you can see that it has a different orientation.
Forget about the arrowheads. Just focus on the lines.
Yeah, forget about the arrows. We'll just get rid of the arrows. So we had this, and now we have this. See how I'm kind of splitting it in half? Now, here's the deal, Ronnie. On this, if you have someone that's walking left to right, they hit this downhill, and it's very easy to go downhill. So here's what this tells you. Just like when you have fast pitch softball. By the way, the Lightning's still insane.
Yeah,
That
that's
was a
crazy.
really good amble crawler. And we still have it recording. I'm not stopping it until this Lightning show really kind of winds down. So in fast pitch softball, they use all that energy, and it's a pendulum of their arm. And then at the very end, they release that softball and they fling it out. And so that takes the softball and kicks it out. Same thing with these negatively tilted troughs. You have all this energy that's being stored up. And then what happens is when it becomes negative tilt, it flings out that energy. And essentially, that creates some pretty intense thunderstorms, a lot of rising motion. Another thing, too, is that you have winds that are spreading out from each other. So if we look back at this trough of low pressure, you're going to see, I'll take the camera off the screen. Remember, the winds are following these streamlines. Now I am going to put an arrow on this. We're going to put this with an arrowhead. And you see how the winds are going to parallel basically those ISO heights. Let me go ahead and remove that last one, because that wasn't a good drawing. So if we go here and draw it, you can see the way the winds are flowing parallel to those lines. That's our jet stream. Well, look at what's happening right in this area. These are winds that are spreading out. And what that does is that creates a tremendous amount of lift. So, of course, that will lead to additional thunderstorms. So let's just see what the model does, because remember, this is the European model, and I'm imagining that it's going to have quite a few storms in the northeastern U.S. because of that negatively tilted trough. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the European, and I'm going to zoom out all the way across the country so you can see that. And let's see. I know this is diving into it, but someone asked, and let's show them what it is. So we'll go to national view. Okay, so now we got a national view. And again, we're answering the question, what does a negative tilt mean when we're talking about a trough of low pressure? So let's go into next week. There's that big trough coming through. Right about here, it turns negative tilt. And yeah, you can kind of see. Now, remember, the resolution of this model isn't the best, but you're seeing definitely some intenser precipitation areas. And that's probably that energy that swings through. Look at that right there. So there's thunderstorms. You can almost tell that's a line of thunderstorms that's coming through. So the end of next week is going to get interesting for the Northeast. Whoa.
And we're in Mars.
And look at that. We have a tropical system too, but that trough of low pressure will prevent it from making it into the United States.
Yeah.
So anyways, there is your answer on negative tilt.
Well done.
Damn prediction for the Packers season. I think it'll be a great year, and Jordan Love's going to shock a lot of people. I would love that. That'd be cool if that does happen.
I think 11-6.
Kylie, we know Kylie.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Kylie? Hope you're having a great school year so far, and good to see you on here. Thanks. I always hear the term, now you know. That's cool. Well, now you know negative tilt.
Now you know.
Negatively tilted jet stream.
Yeah.
Massive strike. Metfield, Bella Vista. Yeah, we saw that one, actually.
I'm definitely going to go through all the footage tomorrow and clip out some of the highlights, make a highlight tape of the storms, all the lightning.
We should be able to send y'all stars for late night energy drinks or Baja Blast ices.
Hey.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I will
Anthony.
take that.
Oh yeah, we can send Sydney home. I didn't know she's still here.
What?
Sydney, bye bye.
I told them a long
Have
time
fun.
ago that they wouldn't need to stay.
Yeah, I told Josh just in case this line does blow
Ah.
up, but I think you're good. You can cut them loose. We can cut them loose at 11:30.
Well, in that case, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. The Northwest Arkansas Weather Podcast. Well, it's kind of like what we're doing here. I
Yeah,
guess.
feels like it.
Oh, well, that's not good, Jamie. Typical Facebook. All that stuff happening. I can
Yeah,
hear.
that happens all the time.
It happens to me too. for
Like
sure.
I'll see stuff that's like super old. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it would have been nice to know something you could have
Yeah.
brought to my attention yesterday.
Where's that from? Why is that so familiar?
That is from The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, by the way, yeah, he's like, I'm calling the wedding off because I'm cheating on you or something like that." It's
Oh,
like,
it's like Adam Sandler.
yeah, it's
saying
Adam
that?
Sandler. Yeah,
Yesterday.
yeah, it's something you could have brought to my attention yesterday. Power's out and grab it. Oh man.
Oh.
Well, here's the reason why that thunderstorm's starting to ramp back up again. I see some flashes of light, like emergency personnel. Let's bring up that Bella Vista camera here. So we're just on here covering these storms, letting you know about what's going on. Here's a look at Mega Doppler, and we'll go back to the Cooper Elementary. So we do have the weather bug camera working on this. Another source for some reason is not showing up. But this is that line that's coming through. And look at how it's developing a little farther south. Whoa, it's a lot of lightning there. On the leading edge of this line, we got some gusty winds. In fact, winds are just about at 35, 40 miles an hour, it looks like. Let's go back to Mega Doppler here, and you can see that. So here's that southern end of the line that's starting to pop up a little more, and it's all forming along that outflow boundary. Now, it's post-frontal, meaning it's after the front or after the outflow boundary, so therefore you're just not going to see tornado potential. If you're just tuning in here and wondering what's going on tornado potential-wise, it's non-existent. But this is wonderful to get some rain, and look, an additional storms popping up now, right now over Harvest Ballpark.
If they were playing, they're long done unless they're in extra innings.
There's a look at the rain that's starting to develop. Yeah, no, there's no way the game's still going on.
They did have a pretty long homestand.
That's a good, 12 games. Yeah. Andy, the Gravit camera. Whoa! That was cool.
Glad everyone got to see that one.
That was a good anvil crawler.
Heck yeah.
Did you guys get to see that? That was great timing.
It's the best one I've seen.
All right, Brian. Brian got to go to the concert. Says it was a great Candlebox and Three Doors Down concert.
Oh, nice.
So glad they got it in fully. Yeah, this thing is
glad the rain wasn't Three Doors Down kryptonite.
yeah, you got that. Man, all these lightning strikes are just awesome to watch.
Great.
Cincinnati, you are going to get it, Karen. I do believe so. Check this out. So here's Summers. Here's Cincinnati. Bring up Mega Doppler.
It's just down the street.
The outflow boundary has come through. See the additional storms popping up. By the way, Cincinnati, location of an EF3 that came through December 31st, 2010. Really bad tornado, man. It did a lot of damage right in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, a smaller community. But Karen, that's what you got coming your way. So, but again, not super stormy. You're already seeing the outflow boundary, but there's a look at the storm activity that's popping up. And
a good downpour.
I think it's still developing. You can see how it's trailing.
Yeah.
So cross our fingers here that you get some rain. Because if you look at the wide view, you can definitely see how it just continues to develop, and then there's more development southwest, and the boundaries kind of just remaining linear. Now, River Valley, we start getting more questionable. I don't think anything's going to happen in the River Valley. Maybe a little bit, but
I think it might all stay north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel.
Let's look at some other models here and let's see what we got. I would agree with that statement for sure. Let's look at this was so bad earlier. The 3 kilometer graph. Yeah. Then go back. So here's a look at the 3 kilometer graph. There's the storms popping up. It kind of dies out, and additional storms pop up. I could see that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a little more isolated, but I definitely agree with like the timing and the intensity.
Although it's kind of underdone on that complex in western Benton County.
Yeah.
It's kind of way underdone on that. So this is what it shows now, and that's what's happening right now.
It's not terrible.
Are we getting more storms in Bella Vista and Pea Ridge? Yes, you are. In fact, it's happening right now, Teresa. That line's coming in. Pea Ridge, that line's coming in too. Let's see if Pea Ridge's camera works. There we go. Check out some lightning from Pea Ridge. Oh, yeah, Karen. We did. We came out after that tornado. We gave out weather radios to everybody that was impacted in the path. Yeah, that was wild. And I'm imagining Dan Schweeder, you related? Was that your husband? You guys are awesome. Love that. Ever since when we went out there, got to meet all the people that were impacted by the tornado. Just some really great people.
Weather radios are important. Like
simplest
form of communication. Like that's
well,
has the least amount of problems.
And especially when you don't get any cell service out there. Hey, Josh remembers that. Look at this. We got Josh is interacting in the control room on our Facebook Live. He should come out here. Come into the weather lab. Dan is my brother. Donna is my mom. I knew that Schweeder family was all related, so that's cool. Well, we appreciate it. I hope you get some rain out of this for sure. Definitely highly electrified. Yeah, come on in here, Josh. So speaking of the man right there, there he is. Oh, look, the camera just focused right on you.
Oh, man.
The camera loves you. So, yeah, there's definitely some lightning that's out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Man, one of the strikes says that it rattled people's homes and stuff like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it'll follow you.
Sweet.
That camera
Does it
follows.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move over.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
cool,
wild.
huh?
Stand up once. You need that for your streaming.
Yeah, for your stream.
Man. That's so
Shameless
cool.
plug.
So yeah. Shameless plug. What do you stream?
I stream all sorts of stuff. Wise Bagel on Twitch.
Wise Bagel.
Wise Bagel.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever see on Ask Mike? Every now and then.
On Ask Mike,
Every now and then, Wise Bagel.
Tim Tino.
Is that another one?
Yeah, that's my Ask Mike one.
Back to so people saying it's storming really bad in Bella Vista. It sure is. We'll bring up a weather bug camera here.
Hopefully it'll die down soon.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
I don't think there's nothing severe, so we can't cut in. But we're definitely a lot of people still watching. 138
Right,
people on here because it's storming pretty bad. A lot of rain and lightning and
Jeez,
whoa,
tons of
yeah.
lightning.
Golly,
It's crazy.
we knew it'd be highly electrified.
We're gonna have hours of footage to go through.
Yeah, we're recording all this. We got tons of anvil crawlers. But unfortunately, some people are without power. What is the latest on the power outage?
I got you here.
Let's check it out. We can bring that up.
Yeah.
Phew.
You can pull a weather too.
There's a nice storm developing right
Oh,
over
yeah.
Springdale.
2,500 people. All Carroll Electric.
Carroll Electric without
They
power.
must have had a transformer just get hit.
Must
something.
have. We don't know where it was, but could have been that 106 kiloamp lightning strike.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Noisy up here in Bella Vista. We do have a camera in Gravette. The camera is located on top of the high school. Whoa, there's a cloud to ground lightning strike. Power in West Bella Vista. Okay, so far.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Seems like if you
So
have
far.
Carroll Electric.
But yeah,
might not have
Andy,
power.
we do have that camera in Gravette.
Yeah.
Decatur is getting a downpour right now. Let's see what it looks like.
Like grab it. high school
Whoa,
cameras
that's
now.
windy too.
Jeez.
That will be the end of our loop.
Mm-hmm.
Non-stop lightning in Eureka. Eureka Springs is getting rocked too, for sure. What's wild though is these storms are electrified, but they don't have any hail because there's nothing being sustained in the updrafts. There's strong winds, but not quite severe, so there's no severe thunderstorm warnings as of now. And the tornado potential is 0. So just kind of like soothing thunderstorms.
Yeah,
Unless
that's good
Good
weather.
sleeping weather.
good sleeping
can't
weather.
wait.
Unless
Yeah,
I know. or you have a cat or a dog, or a
Yeah.
pet, or a baby that just doesn't, or kids don't like weather. I remember back in the day, I'd hear coming down the hall, and I was like, "Here comes the kids." They're freaking out. So, yeah, storm. Look at this little storm popping up right over Springdale. That's a nice
Whoa,
little
yeah.
downpour. Springdale Country Club. We would have a great camera there too, but of course it's not working. We're working on getting some of those cameras fixed. So that would be nice. Yeah. So you could tell it to stop moving
Oh,
too.
that's cool.
It's a cool camera. Definitely need that OBS bot.
Right
Oh, hey, hailing in Springdale. We just talked about hail. Now it might be very small. There it is. You might be right. Not so soothing. I know, Hannah. That's what I was saying. It's soothing for some, but not for everyone. A 6-month-old at the home, a 2 and a 4-year-old just got baby to sleep when the storm started. Like I said, I remember. Here comes a kid, and then you hear, and then they get scared. But there's a look at the hail. So, Julie, you must be near Lake Fayetteville. You got to be, according to the radar.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe it's moved out. So maybe you're close to Don Tyson School of Innovation. Let us know approximately where you're at. And you can see also some of the subdivisions. So Spring Creek Estates, Serenity. Isn't that cool how we have the subdivisions on
That's
there?
rad.
Yeah.
Yep. We've just scratched the surface.
That took a little programming, didn't it? Peyton?
Yeah.
A little bit of
And
time.
we're not done yet
No.
because there's a lot. It's grown so much over
Yeah.
the past just even couple of years.
Well, how about that? Julie says that junior high,
Yeah,
George
right
Junior
here.
High. That's exactly what we said.
They moved over that.
Whoa. So if you're off of Paul Street, okay, we got to look at that. So you're on the north side of that hail core. How close were you to the Springdale tornado? Oh, Powell. Okay, I was going to say I didn't know what Paul Street. Gosh, how close were you to that Springdale tornado? March 30th of 2022. That was wicked, man.
Yeah.
That tornado was
Were
bad.
you here for that,
news.
Josh?
I was working at another station in our market at the time.
But they weren't on. You weren't on at that. Were you on in the morning?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't morning shift.
Because all that happened at 4 a.m.
Jeez.
I know, Andy. It's crazy in Gravette. And that storm is right on top of you. And that's why we just haven't dropped off. Because even though it's not severe, you're probably wondering what in the world is going on. Well, there's a look at it coming through Gravette. So It looks like it's on the back edge. Remember, you got some amble crawlers that will still happen. But I'd say within the next half hour, the storm activity should definitely be on the decrease.
Mhm.
In fact, if we go to Decatur, you'll probably not see as much lightning now, especially when it's a still image.
And it's gone.
And she's gone. There you go. Here's Decatur.
All right, good. It's still up.
It's still up. Camera's running. Hailing in East Springdale. So that's that little isolated storm that popped up.
Now, when that collapses, that could have a good amount of.
That's got to have some good little lightning strikes. Let's go to I'm gonna go to our Arkansas Children's Northwest camera and point it east.
They're going to point it northwest.
Well, I want to see if I can catch this cell that's popping up.
Yeah.
See if we can see the base of it because it's just right there. A little bit.
You can see like the top of it.
Can you? Oh yeah, kind of can. Just got my 7-month-old and 2-year-old out of bed as well. Yeah,
That was me when I was little.
it's a noisy one.
You know, those are the kids that all.
Oh, Julie, really? The Woodridge Estates.
Dang.
Remember that? That
Yeah.
trailer park that was hit?
Yep.
I lived with a tornado, hit the trailer park that it had. So, yeah, that was.
I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was that what it was? The Woodridge Estates just south of Nilfisk. That's where it was rated EF3.
Yeah.
That was definitely me as a kid. Mom, I threw up and Dad, I'm scared.
Black Oak
Storms.
Road. Holy cow. Teresa Foster Smith. Yep. I remember that. I hear you. It hasn't been soothing. Dan, you were out at my brother's house. It was a tornado of 2009 off of Black Oak Road, Mountain Springs. He lists his house. So, lost his house. Yes. Brother's house. So, that actually was, just to let you know, it was 2008. I know this because it was April 10th of 2008. So, close to 2009. But I know for a fact it was 2008. So if you're ever looking at like photos, by the way, I would love to see. I've been looking for photos on that. It's going to follow you, Peyton.
Yeah.
It's got you locked on. But April 10th of 2008. So if you ever look up historic records or look up photos, I would love to see photos of that home because I did go up there.
Yeah.
And so Dale Foster is your brother's house, right? So let me know. He says, yes. So we went up there. There's a real quick story on this. And then, of course, we'll go back to the radar. Just woke up to hail in East Springdale. So there is that isolated cell. I have them, yes. Please send them to me. Send them to dscoff@kwa.com. That's my email address. I got to show Peyton those photos. But anyways, so long story short, I'm covering storms that night, April 9th, 2008. There's severe weather all over the place. There's tornado potential. And I start losing my voice because I'm talking like 12 hours straight. So I take some NyQuil. I'm just sawing logs. And my wife, because we lived very close to Mountain Spring Drive. We were just north of there. My wife hears this roar. And she goes, that sounds a lot like a tornado. And it was like at 6 o'clock in the morning. And she looks over at me and I'm just like, just sawing logs because, you're in such a deep sleep from taking NyQuil because I was getting sick. So I was like, and this is after I handed over the morning meteorologist, handed him handed off the shift essentially because I couldn't stay up all night. So I'm sawing logs and my wife hears this roar. And turns out later on that day, I'm working. Very strong cold front came in. It got really cold right after that. And I walked by the edit bay and I see this photographer editing video. And I go, holy cow, and I see the house. I'm like, that looks like tornado damage. I was like, where was that at? And the photographer goes, oh, you know what? That's actually pretty close to your house. I'm like, what? So I go up there, and it was kind of like a blocked off road. DSKOFF at knwa.com. Just to let you know, not DSCOFF. So close. But anyways, I get up there, I'm looking at the damage, and I call my wife and I said, babe, you won't believe this. We had a tornado pretty close to our house. And there's this big pause, and then she goes, so that's what that roar was. I'm like, what do you mean, what roar? I was like, did you not wake me up? So she heard a roar. She said, I thought that was a tornado. And I'm like, why didn't you wake me up? I was like, I wanted to see that. I probably could have seen it at the top of the hill or something like that. So anyways, long story short, went up there, saw that damage. And he said it sounded like a train, a lot of damage. And I call up the weather service and I say, you got to get your guys out here. This is a tornado. Because it was wild. When I was driving up the hill, I didn't see any damage.
Right.
And I'm driving up Mountain Spring, and I keep getting up there, and then all of a sudden, I got up there with a tree. There were a tree down all over the place, and they were all in different directions. And so, I got to show you, that was a pretty bad damage to the home.
I remember that. I was in high school.
You remember that one?
Don't mean to make you sound old.
I know.
But
I wasn't even born. I'm just kidding. I was 8.
I was in high school. That was
Yeah.
my senior year. I remember that.
It was really strange. It sucked everything out of the top. It did. And it topped that hill, and then it continued northeast. It also, like your neighbor's fireplace, it ripped that off the roof. And then there was a 2x4 that was the reason I knew it was a tornado. There was a 2x4 that was stuck in the east side of the house. So it was stuck in the east side of the house above the garage. And it hit like just a little before 6 o'clock. And it was a QLCS tornado, Teresa. Those are the ones that are really hard to spot. There was no warning on it. The rotation was there, but it wasn't very noticeable. But what we know now, we would have been on that.
On top of that.
I wouldn't say a piece of cake, but
well, we definitely would have been on top of that.
Yeah, definitely been on top of that. So, anyways, it was pretty crazy. Thank you, Teresa, for being on here and letting me take a trip down memory lane. So, and I'm just glad that everything was okay. But so back to real quick, see how the lightning's over now in Decatur? I think we can finally stop recording.
All right.
Yes. Look at how smart these people are. Yes, I think that's the one that crossed from Sunset and hit Brannon Mountain. So there was also another one that came through in Sunset. That was in March of a little while ago. Oh, yeah. Of course, I remember that. That was a pretty wide. It was EF2 as well. It was a pretty intense tornado. It was just wild to see all those trees flipped around. All right. Let's go to Mega Doppler, and there's the cluster of storms. No thunderstorms in Fayetteville. Oh, is it going to make it here? What do you think? Gosh, it's so close.
Barely.
Cincinnati. You're missing the rain. Just barely. So far, nothing else is popping up.
Just enough to fill up like a Dixie mouthwash cup.
I don't even know if that's going to happen. There's additional storms popping up farther south.
Mm-hmm.
So the hail is there, but it's not quite severe. Oh, yeah, there's definitely pockets of hail. No doubt about that. This is like half-inch size hail west of Bentonville, XNA, west of Lowell, east of Springdale, west of Springdale. There you can see maybe a little bit larger here approaching Cave Springs. So that's a little bit of a larger hail core. Look at that. Yeah, you can definitely see it's not all precipitation. It's not all rain.
It's about what I said in the 7. I said
Up
P
to
to
an inch?
dime-sized hail, even nickel.
So that's right on the money, Peyton. And there's that rain.
No
And
pun
so,
intended.
yeah, there you go. No, right on the nickel and dime, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I got you. Hail south of XNA.
Yeah.
All right, so we just showed you that. That's exactly what we were looking at. Isn't that cool? I love how it's interactive, man.
Yeah.
People are literally saying what's actually happening on the radar. No rain in Farmington, Jacob. We see that. This is so interesting. Headed to bed. I don't blame you there. It's pretty late. So, boy, it's a real delay. We hit the button like to show the comment, and it doesn't pop up for a
Yeah,
little
why
while.
is that? It's weird.
I know that song, that Evanescence song, Jacob. Wake me up. Wake me up inside.
Oh yeah.
Can't wake up. Tornado inside.
Save me. Still
I
fits.
know. I'll tell you one thing, and that Cincinnati tornado, there was a supercell that went right over our neighborhood, rotating violently, and I'm so thankful it didn't produce a tornado. So yeah. Can Bentonville go to bed? Yeah. Let me kind of sum it up here. We're gonna shut it down here just a little bit. Just
Put the
about
kids to bed.
put the kids to bed. Thunderstorms are popping up. It is noisy. There's quite a lightning show, but anywhere in Western Benton County, so Mayfield, Sulphur Springs, Decatur, Gravette, Gentry, Siloam Springs, storms are done. You won't experience anything else. On the backside, that's out of here. Springdale, Lowell, Bentonville, Bella Vista, Pea Ridge, you're still getting the brunt of this storm. Bentonville's really noisy right now. Farmington's not getting anything, but additional storms could be popping up. And after that, everything's going to be pushing out. So Bentonville's going to be a little noisy for the next, I'd say, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. And, well, there's the comment right there. Darlene says, heavy rain. You going to show?
Maybe. It says hide, so it must be already shown.
Wow. That is really getting delayed. I think something's slowing down here.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Wow, that took a while. Yeah, we're going to give this computer a rest. Definitely coming down in Bentonville at Fulbright. Gotta work on getting those cameras working. So here's Fulbright.
What other cameras were we recording? Just to make sure to stop.
Go to 25 panel. Yeah. Hit on that. And then that'll show you Bella Vista, Cooper Elementary. Whoa, that was just a big bolt right there. Literally just saw that.
So should I stop it or not?
Maybe not Bella Vista yet.
The other ones are stopped.
Why a severe weather statement in Fayetteville? So that's just for that outflow boundary. Yep. Lightning and thunder in Bella Vista.
So what's the difference between a statement and a watch?
That's a good question.
It's a very good question.
Come on in here, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, got it. Stop moving. I'm trying to get everybody in here, and it keeps moving. So, SWS is a severe weather statement. SVR is a severe thunderstorm warning, and an SVA is a severe thunderstorm watch. So the difference is a severe weather statement is saying that this storm isn't severe, but it could build up to something severe.
Gotcha.
But at the moment, it doesn't have winds 58 miles an hour or greater or hail quarter size. It's under that. So it's still a strong storm. It's just not quite severe.
Okay.
A severe thunderstorm warning is where you have a storm that's 58 mile an hour greater winds and or hail 1 inch or larger. So it's really two things. And then if it has a tornado,
right,
that makes it severe as well. And a watch tells you that conditions are favorable for storms to develop that are severe.
Okay.
And you have a severe weather statement that is showing that basically that you have severe weather potential. Then there's another thing too, but it's not quite happened yet. There's also a severe SVS, a severe statement, basically saying that you have a storm that's severe and it's updating it. Like let's say the hail is only quarter size, but then it gets bigger to like 1.75. They issue what's called an SVS. This is a severe weather statement that updates the warning.
Okay.
So those
Gotcha.
are all the different things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. And so an SWS is a severe weather, a special weather statement. So as Jacob said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually see a lot of those on Twitter, especially because I follow all the National Weather Service offices.
Yeah.
I don't really usually pay attention to those until it's like severe weather statement.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe it, man. It is a downpour. Yeah. So the SWS is a special weather statement. The SVS is a severe statement and severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. And while we're doing that, look at Fulbright. Heavy rain. It is definitely coming down in Fulbright. And that is exactly where the core of the storm is.
Yeah.
Bella Vista is still getting rocked. So we know it's loud. It's no crazy lightning and thunder. But a lightning and thunder and heavy rain does not make a thunderstorm severe. So let's see if Josh remembers. Well, what makes a thunderstorm severe, Josh?
50-mile-an-hour winds or greater, or inch-sized hail,
Which is?
which is was that quarter?
That's
Yeah.
it. Oh!
Passing the test. Let's
Pass
go.
the test. Let's go. That's awesome. There you go. John says, Professor Scoff. And my assistant professor, Peyton
Yeah.
Langford. All right. Well, any updates in Bentonville? No serious threat. Some gusty winds. There could be some sporadic power outages. Oh, yeah. What's that power outage index showing?
Probably hasn't changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
Maybe, but again, it's all Carroll Electric. Let's see what the new numbers
Swepco.
are. Oh, a lot of people got power back.
Just popped back up. So 1,500 customers approximately.
There we go.
But yeah, Will, I know we're watching it. We're checking it out. This is just some heavy rain, very loud thunderstorms. But in terms of hitting that quarter-size hail, not going to happen most likely. And also gusty winds. Now, the winds could be close to 50 miles an hour, but that's not quite severe limits. So that's it. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning farther north. And if we click on it, we see that we've got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which makes the storm severe.
So it just has to be gusts. It doesn't have to be sustained.
Yeah, no, it's
All right.
gusts. Sustain would be trouble.
That'd be a hurricane.
Yeah, that'd be trouble.
Tropical depression.
Yeah, that would be trouble. All right, I think that sums it up, man. So thank you for watching,
Yeah.
guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up tonight. So
Keep that umbrella handy.
for Friday morning too.
Just throw it in the car, honestly, because
Yeah.
there's like a 20% chance. You got some
Pop-ups.
unstable pop-ups. Don't want to be caught off guard. Actually, sometimes I like to be surprised. I just don't carry an umbrella.
Do you do?
No, I don't carry
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
You
little
know,
bit of rain.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not
That'll
gonna
be all
melt.
Yeah.
Just watch out for those anvil crawlers. And finally, Teresa says, "Thanks for telling my story of my brother's Dale's misfortunes." Yeah, that was really crazy. I'll try to search those pictures. Thank you. April 10th, 2008. Also a morning where Dead Horse Mountain Road flooded. It was the first time I ever saw Dead Horse Mountain flood, which is pretty common actually. It takes a rain and it floods.
Right.
But that was one of the worst. 2008, that was a tremendous rainstorm. I'll have to show the archive radar. All right, God bless. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. I only have 4 more minutes before we hit Wednesday.
Oh
So,
boy.
severe weather in Johnson County doesn't look like it. You're going to be fine in the River Valley. See you guys. Thanks for
Have a good
watching.
night.
Yeah.